Yeah, I graduated from Kauai High School in 1995 and from Chaminade University in 2001. You can do the math, but I didn't graduate with a doctorate, so. But as I stand before you today, I cannot help but reflect on my time here with my wife, Monica, and our very own commencement ceremony many moons ago. And as I look into the sea of graduates, I cannot help but see my own reflection in you. And it makes me realize how quickly time goes by, but time is just a measurement until it's filled with very special people who make tremendous impacts in our lives. And today on this beautiful occasion, as you generously give me your time, each of you becomes a part of my life as well. And for that, I'm truly grateful. And I would be remiss if I didn't take the time to thank Chaminade University for having me here today with my wife, Monica. And if I could go back and tell my 23-year-old self that one day I'd be up on this stage talking to the graduates, their families, faculty, and staff of Chaminade, I would say, not in your wildest dreams. And it feels as if I'm dreaming and still waiting to wake up. I don't think anyone could have or would have imagined I'd be standing here one day because, hey, let's face it, I was average at best. But you wouldn't have known it if you seen the look of my mom and dad's face as I walked to receive my diploma. And as I look into this crowd today, a crowd full of parents, siblings, loved ones, and I look into their eyes and their hearts, I see that same pride, hope, and promise that I saw in my own mom and dad's heart all those years ago. People often think of graduation as the end of an era, but the very word commencement means the beginning. So people ask me what I got most of my time out of Chaminade, and I have to admit, now that I have 20/20 hindsight vision, what I'm about to say is the last thing my professors would want to hear. Because as the sands of time have passed, some of the knowledge, some of the details of the countless hours of classroom lessons, lectures, and knowledge have faded. But what has remained is how the power of the human element can change the trajectory of one person's life. All it takes is one person. One person that believes in someone and is willing to invest time, effort, and kindness can uplift the community. People like Marlene Baker. Miss Baker, that's all right, don't be afraid. You can give her a round of applause. She's still here with us. But people like Marlene Baker, Miss Baker made sure that I was staying on track. She always made that extra effort to check in on me, to make sure the classes I needed to graduate were on my schedule. The extra effort on her part showed me that I was more than just a number. It made me feel cared about, and those type of feelings and experiences don't fade over time. Henry Gomes, Uncle Henry, or just Uncle. Uncle Henry was a local brother. Although I was a quick plane ride away from my island home of Kauai, which I missed and yearned for, it felt at times like I was worlds apart. But Uncle Henry would take the time to talk to me about country kind things. Fishing, surfing, backyard kanikapila jam sessions. We even at times got into some kolohe kind of action on the side. Bus, laugh. I somehow like to believe that maybe he saw a little of himself in me. I know that when we had those talk story sessions, when he would share his version of the good old days, it made me feel like I was understood. Made me feel like my life experience on a small rural island where everything closes at 9 was priceless and precious. That my lay low, downshifted pace of life was something to be treasured because that was the lifestyle he missed and yearned for. Uncle Henry made me feel like it was perfectly okay to just be me. Yukio Ozaki. Mr. Ozaki is still alive, so prior to, God bless their heart and they're overlooking us, but I don't want to start a rumor. He's still alive. So, okay, Yukio Ozaki. I remember needing an elective so I could graduate on time with my wife, Monica. So I signed up for an art class, and at the 11th hour, a schedule change created a domino effect where a class of 20 had dwindled down to just yours truly. Now, it would make perfect sense for Chaminade University to cancel the class, as it would make no business sense or financial sense for the class to be held with just one student, yet knowing that I needed the credit and that a student is more than just a number in a system, the class wasn't canceled, because there I was, a person with a desire to learn, and Mr. Ozaki was willing to teach. I got to spend a semester under the wing of one of the most sincere, genuine, caring, and knowledgeable people I have ever met. He took me to walk the streets of downtown Honolulu to show me the art that surrounds us in our built environment. He took me to see an exhibit by Joel Peter Witkin at the Honolulu Museum of Contemporary Art, an exhibit that was controversial and shocking. But that particular artist took what society would deem as unpleasant, ugly, or even deformed, and brought out the beauty in it. Through that experience, Mr. Ozaki taught me that there is beauty everywhere if we choose to look for it. If we choose kindness, patience, and empathy over fear, guilt, and hate. It made me feel safe to second-guess the conventional, and it made me feel confident to explore the world through a child's eyes, the eyes that are always full of wonder, curiosity, and a deep appreciation in all things that oftentimes go by unnoticed. Shortly after taking office, I visited Hawaii Island, and I wanted to see how they were modernizing their DMV, but most importantly, I wanted to go and visit Mayor Kim. I remember Mayor Kim from all the way back to Hurricane Iniki when he was the head of civil defense, and he came to Kauai's rescue during one of our darkest hours. I look and we look to people like Mayor Kim as kupuna, and as you all know, here in Hawaii, we embrace our kupuna as a source of knowledge, and people like me go to our kupuna to seek knowledge. And we had a great conversation. But what resonated the most is a question he posed as he leaned back in his chair, fingers intertwined, and a gaze that you could tell behind those eyes were a life full of experience, knowledge, born out of hardship. He asked me, "Derek, what keeps you up at night? What do you think you need to accomplish during your time as mayor?" I took a huge, deep breath and gulped and blurted out, "What keeps me up is the pressure of having to prove my worth. This is the first time in a long time the island has given someone from a younger generation a chance to lead. There's so many roads that need to be repaved, so many affordable houses that need to be built, so many families that need financial and emotional support. I feel a tremendous weight to represent my family, my generation, my community to the best that I can. What keeps me up is the fear of failure." He held his gaze and leaned forward, fingers still intertwined, said, "You're not going to fail. Your people will not remember what roads you paved. They won't remember how many affordable homes you were able to provide. People will not remember any of these things. They will remember if they had a mayor that cared about them. They will remember if they had a mayor they could trust. His words of wisdom are the metrics that I weigh myself against every day since that conversation occurred. What I got most out of my time at Chaminade wasn't the correct way to structure a sentence or what I gained out of my statistics class, which I love so much I took twice. It wasn't what I gained out of a book. It was the importance of the human element and the power that simple, random acts of kindness can shape the future of one person's life. That although certain things will fade over time, the people who cared, the ones that shared, the ones that believed and made you believe in yourself will remain with you, because you will always remember how people made you feel. Many of you know me as the TikTok mayor. Even though I didn't do a single TikTok, I did a 15-second dance routine and I became the TikTok mayor. We made bubble snakes together. We did butterbeer. We did Darren's grandma's famous hard ice and made masks and terrariums, but not TikTok. You know, people to this day, they thank me all the time for helping them get through tough times. And I have to say, my wife put me up to it. My daughter instigated it. But we, at the end of the day, just wanted to help people get through some tough times, and we wanted to do it together. At the end of the day, we wanted people to feel like they mattered and that we cared about them. And we wanted people to have trust in us, trust that we cared enough to protect them, trust that we would not leave their side, and trust that we would get through this together. You see, that's what I got out of college, that people care, that there are people we can trust, and if we trust them, they'll help us get through anything. My teachers would tell me, aim high, Derek. My mom would say, shoot for the stars, son, you can do it. My dad would say, don't listen to them. Make sure your ladder is sturdy and stable. Make sure you know where you're going and just focus on getting to that next step. And they all turned out to be right. Aim high, shoot for the stars, but focus on just one step at a time. And one day, if you keep climbing, step after step, you'll get to a place higher than you ever thought you could. When you get there, you'll realize it was because of people around you who cared about you, the people you trusted to carry you when you were unsteady. It will very likely include people who you've met during your time here, like Miss Baker, Mr. Ozaki, and Uncle Henry. And then go out and be those people for others. Help them climb their ladders. Because like Mayor Him so eloquently reminded me, our life's accomplishments are not measured by what we know or say or do, but rather in how we make people feel. And I feel incredibly grateful to witness this commencement of your next step. Congratulations to this beautiful graduating class of Chaminade University. Fair winds and following seas. Always be caring, always be trustworthy. Thank you very much. God bless and aloha.